Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD, and welcome to, well, it'll be 2 streams today, but we're starting off with the first one, well, not 2 streams, 2 races in 1 stream, because they're overlapping each other. But welcome to the Springfield ARCA 100 at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, also known as the Springfield Mile, race 14 of 20 for the ARCA Menards series in 2024. It's the first of the 2 Illinois dirt races. So, this one has been around in ARCA since the 80s. Mile-long dirt track made of clay, and it's run during the daytime. So, hotter track, maybe a little. Though I'm not too well versed on dirt affecting track conditions. Though I know that Springfield is run in the daytime, while DuQuoin is run at night. I think it's just a way of handling. We got 20 cars in the field, including a couple of dirt aces. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to compare the 2. So it's right. So because the race is running in the daytime, hotter temperatures remove moisture from the dirt, making it harder to drive. The other dirt track, DuQuoin, is run at night, which is a little easier. And it's starting right now. And I'm watching this on my computer because I will have my coverage of the NASCAR race on the TV. Or maybe I'll just go to whichever one finishes up faster, starts earlier. There are weather concerns at...
It's the final day of the 2024 Illinois State Fair, and for the 42nd time in series history, the ARCA Menards series is a headlining event with a 100-lap contest around the Springfield Mile.
So it's being billed as part of the Performance Seed Dirt Double. There's a money bonus
alongside of Phil Parsons, and we are just 48 hours removed from
for winning both dirt races.
Menards series event at Michigan, and championship points leader Andres Perez came home runner-up and said he was frustrated with that result. Phil, he's been close several times.
He has, and how impressive has this young man been? Last year, started the season, he wasn't even old enough to run the race at Daytona. He was only 17 years old. But once he started in the series, he just piles up top 10 finishes. As a matter of fact, in the last 2 years, he's only finished outside the top 10 on 6 occasions. And this year, he has really turned it up. Take a look at his last 5 races. You talk about those runner-up finishes, 3 in the last 5 races. The other 2 finishes in 5th. This is an impressive young man. This is what people look to for him to move up the ladders, the consistency that he has here in this series.
Perez is one storyline.
Now, I paid to be on the side of the 31 car.
Victory lane with Brent Cruz. Phil, this year they have a star-studded lineup with a unique dynamic to it coming into this race.
Yeah, there's 4 females in the 5 Venturini.
Isabella Robusto, Amber Balkin, Tony Breidinger, and Taylor Reimer.
Top 10 finishes at Michigan just a couple of races ago. You see Taylor Reimer extremely impressive. Qualified 3rd for this race. Really a winner on
Robusto and Breidinger did not make a quali lap.
Robusto, and that's the young lady I'm going to keep my eye on. She has been so impressive all year long. She started off the season at Phoenix with a 6th place finish. She led 58 laps at Irwindale after finishing 2nd just a couple days before, was headed towards victory. You see her cutting down a tire, hitting to the outside wall. That cost her the win. And then just a couple weeks ago at Elko, got into an accident not of her making. You see the damage to that 55 car. They came to pit road, made repairs, and she recovered to a top top 5 finish. So these are 4 talented young ladies, and they're going to be fun to watch today.
So on the graphic, Isabella's going to be coming from the back of the field after a problem prior to qualifying. Hopefully the bad luck's out of the way.
All the cars have like special additions to their cars to make them suitable for dirt racing, because dirt can clog your the radiators and whatnot and overheat. I mean, I'm looking at pre-race for Michigan. It's talking about the penalties from Richmond. Joey Logano is fined $50K for shenanigans on pit road, burning his wheels near a bunch of people. Austin Dillon's spotter was suspended for 3 races, and Dillon lost his playoff eligibility as well as 25 points.
What has the week been like for you? It's pretty great, man. You know, getting a win, get back to victory lane, felt awesome. We got a really good down Chevrolet for today's race, and it's the loudest I've been cheered in a while, so I'm excited about getting after it and see if we can get another win.
Obviously, the team disagrees with NASCAR's assessment of the penalty-wise because you're going to appeal it this Wednesday. What do you hope to add to that conversation, Austin? What do you want to tell them?
I just think the whole full scope of the story. I think that's the biggest thing, is to get out, you know, my opinion of what all happened. Because
Your spotter told you to wreck him. You wrecked him.
Had some things taken away, but he still has the W.
Dave, you mentioned the introduction. Let's listen to how the fans received Austin Dillon in Michigan.
Please tell me they booed. Booed. Yeah. No shit. What do you expect to happen? None of my friends were happy about the way he raced at the end.
Well, Austin Dillon is proud of the fact he won that race. He's proud of the fact that he did what he had to do. He drives for Richard Childress, and that's what Richard Childress wants him to do. He told me this week, he said, hey, since I have my children, you know, I want to get in victory lane. I want to take them in victory lane. He was able to do that. Now, 2 things can be true at the same time. It was an aggressive move, but NASCAR had to step in. That can't be a normal event. That can't be the way you determine a championship. It was a little bit over the top.
A little bit. He wrecked 2 cars in the last turn.
He's got a real case. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, you know, we can all have our opinions about this, but I'll caution everyone, and I know the fans are very passionate about this sport and their drivers and what takes place and feel like they know what they would have done, you know, and what I would have done in this situation. Well, we don't really know that. Look, this isn't a hobby to these guys. This is their livelihood, and they look at the position that they're in and what it could mean for them. You know, just a few laps back from that, he thought that he had a playoff berth wrapped up. He was a half a mile from that happening, and then to have everything turned around. So let's not just continuously criticize him. We have to look and understand that these drivers are doing what they feel is the right thing to do. May not be the right thing, and NASCAR thought it wasn't the right thing. I think they handled the penalty in the proper way, especially with it being 3 days after the fact. So, Jeff, moving forward, do the drivers know where the line is, and will they now race differently for wins?
Well, I think we have to remember that that was a strange and unusual circumstance. We don't see a guy in an incident with 2 cars over the last 2 corners to win a race. And I think that drawing the line in the sand is that's over the top. We're not going to take away the aggressiveness of racing. That's what NASCAR is. It's a contact sport. But there is a point where that's too far, and I think now drivers have a more clear understanding of where that line is.
You know, the angle of spotter Brandon Manesh's role in this is very compelling. Let's hear what he had to say to Austin Dillon during the final few laps.
Oh, please, let's hear it again.
So, DJ, in your opinion, was the spotter suspension necessary?
Yes.
While I agree that it wasn't necessary and uncalled for what the spotter said there, I disagree with the penalty. I think it could have been handled in a different way. I think a conversation with Brandon, sit down, 15 minutes explaining what he did wrong.
Nah, that's not gonna a slap on the wrist.
With all of the spotters, only would have taken 5 minutes. The spotters don't need to say a thing. This is all about letting them know what their place is in this sport. A few have gotten maybe out of control with that a little bit. You're there for information to your driver, Nothing more than that. You don't need to be telling him how to drive and what to do. Those are his decisions to make.
There's so much on the line, and it's more than it's ever been. You know, the desire to make the playoffs, it's not just that. The way the point structure, the prize structures are today, that's like a $2 million win right there. I mean, it's in that range. And so that's part of why you go for it. It completely changes what next year looks like. So with the way the charter system works.
All right. Anyway, command's being given at Springfield.
Participate in. I just asked Father.
No, sorry. Pre-race ceremonies at Springfield.
This race that you just be with the drivers that are climbing behind the wheels of those vehicles, protect and watch over them. Be with the crews and the fans and all of the staff, Father. Just continue to protect and watch over them. I just pray, Father, above all else, that hearts and minds are open to you here today. And I just ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, John. All right, here to sing the national anthem as she's done for quite some time, and there won't be a more beautiful rendition that you'll hear. Miss Sandy Begay. Sandy?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
An enthusiastic crowd getting set for the green flag. The first race of the 2024 Performance C Dirt Double coming up right after this.
Waiting for the command before I go over the starting lineup. $20 cars is one of the among the lowest of the entry list as far, and for this case, it's the lowest smallest entry list since 2022, which had 21 entries compared to this. It's only 20. As heads up, I'll say it again at the end of the stream, but I will not be able to do streams for next weekend. At least not for Cup, or at least not for NASCAR. ARCA, trucks, and IndyCar is up in the air. Waiting for this event to come back from commercial. Some news we heard yesterday. A.J. Allmendinger is going back to Cup full-time next year. Probably, presumably in the 16. We've also got announcements for, also for, I think they said in the Xfinity race. Also for Xfinity, the two Haas drivers in the Xfinity series are Custer and are Creed and Mayer.
Series, all of the teams are ready. Green flag is in the air.
This is a great opportunity for these guys to showcase their talent.
It's so much more intense than I anticipated.
We have trouble, hard contact. We got a big crash. This is a big one. I think we're going to see them in victory lane many more times. We are ready to go racing.
Welcome back to the Illinois State Fairgrounds, the historic Springfield Mile with the 14th race of the ARCA Menards Series calendar, the first race of the Performance Seed Dirt Double. And we've been touching on that so far all throughout the intro portion of our broadcast. And this is an initiative that we've seen before, and it offers up a chance for drivers to cash in on their success on the two dirt tracks. If you could win them both here today and to coin on Labor Day weekend, you could walk away with a $20,000 bonus.
Yeah, and they're still going to give some money out no matter what. If a driver is not able to win both, and they will break up the top three in average finish over those two races, $7,500 to the guy that has the best average finish, then $5,000 and $2,500. So at least $15,000 will be given away to these ARCA competitors.
Another opportunity for some drivers to earn some extra cash by virtue of their performance.
$7,500 for best average finish, $5,000 for the second best, and $2,500 for the third.
Of Kelly Kopsky. Heather reported about how he feels about his chances here, but Phil, this is a driver who certainly knows.
Okay, wait. Are they going to actually start the ARCA race, or are they just?
5 career starts in the ARCA Menards series.
The advertised start time was 2 p.m.
Or the other dirt track that we race at DeCoin. You can see 11 top 10 finishes and 17 starts here, including that third place finish. Kelly, and it's a home game for him. You could hear the crowd when they announced his name during driver intros. He's definitely a local favorite.
He's from Springfield.
It's been a good weekend so far for the family in which he's associated with. Justin Allgaier won the Xfinity race. Kopsky will try to do the same here. Let's go trackside to get the engines fired.
Is in this great a shape today. All right, it's your time. It's your participation time. We want to hear from you. On the count of 3, you give the command to start the engines. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I got kind of faded at the end of it. But drivers, start your engines. 20 cars ready to get going on the Springfield Mile. Here's today's starting lineup. Starting 20th, driving the number 25, Sunoco Toyota for Venturini Motorsports. 25 years old from Hillsborough, California, Tony Breidinger. Starting 19th, driving the number 20, JBL Toyota for Venturini Motorsports. 19 years old from Fort Mill, South Carolina, Isabella Robusto. Both cars did not make a were not able to make a qualifying lap. That's why they're that far back. Starting 18th, driving the number 31, Cyber Fox on X, Blue Chew Chevrolet for Rise Motorsports. 21 years old from Greenwood, Indiana, Brayton Laster. And starting 17th, driving the number 86, Race Parts Liquidators Ford for Club Racing Inc. 59 years old from Morris, Illinois, Brian Clubb. Starting 16th, driving the number 06, Peterson Motorsports Toyota for Wayne Peterson Racing. 26 years old from Lafayette, Ohio, Nate Muller. Starting 15th, driving the number 48, Coprea.com Ford for Brad Smith Motorsports. 55 years old from Shelby Township, Michigan, Brad Smith. Starting 14th, driving the number 12, Illinois Trucking Association, Riverside Chevy Chevrolet for Fast Track Racing. 24 years old from Elmwood, Illinois, Tim Monroe. And starting 13th, driving the number 99, Donray Petroleum LLC, Maples Motorsports Chevrolet. That's Donray Petroleum LLC and Maples Motorsports. 60 years old from Choctaw, Oklahoma, Michael Maples. Starting 12th, Driving the number 10 Brenco Hogberg driving the number 10 Brenco Hogberg Farms UTI Ford for Fast Track Racing. 21 years old from West Fargo, North Dakota, Bryce Hogberg. And of course, leave it to me to always forget that Michael Maples is the oldest driver in the field by a margin of over 40 years. Starting 11th, driving the number 11 TimCast.com Toyota for Fast Track Racing. 34 years old from Hoax Bluff, Alabama, Cody Dennison. Starting 10th, driving the number 03 Race Parts Liquidators Ford for Club Racing Inc. 32 years old from Morris, Illinois, Alex Clubb. And starting 9th, driving the number 22 Icon Direct Toyota for Venturini Motorsports. 32 years old from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, Amber Balkin. Starting 8th, driving the number 8 Nesco Bus Sales Chevrolet for Empire Racing. 40 years old from Goshen, New York, Sean Core. Starting 7th, driving the number 32 West Virginia Department of Tourism Ford for AM Racing. 29 years old from Martinsburg, West Virginia, Christian Rose. Starting 6th, and it's also Christian Rose, the highest starting Ford. Starting 6th, driving the number 6 Max Siegel Inc. Chevrolet for Rev Racing. 20 years old from Carneys Point, New Jersey, LeVar Scott. What the fuck is going on? I don't know why they're showing a Cars Tour event. Oh, Taylor Reimer, okay. And starting 5th, driving the number 15 First National Bank Corporation Toyota for Venturini Motorsports. 30 years old from Wexford, Pennsylvania, Chris Wright. Starting 4th, driving the number 2 Max Siegel Inc. Chevrolet for Rev Racing. 19 years old from Mexico City, Mexico, Andres Perez, the points leader. Starting 3rd, driving the number 55 Buzz Balls Toyota for Venturini Motorsports. 24 years old from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Taylor Reimer. Starting outside pole, driving the number 16 Brant Schleckerbier Farm Chevrolet for Kelly Kowski Racing. 43 years old from Springfield, Illinois, Kelly Kowski. And on pole, driving the number 18 Starkey Sound Gear Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 17 years old from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, William Sawalich, the youngest driver in the field. And of course, its front row is the best Toyota and the best Chevrolet.
2 to watch as we go green.
It'll be 100 laps around the Springfield Dirt Mile. The field coming through turn 4. Pace car is off, and we're green at Springfield. That's what great. The car wait. That's not. No, that's the 86. Not the. I hope that's the 86.
Start so far. Kelly Kowski able to hold on to that second spot from the outside of row.
So Walich to the lead, as I expected. I think he's going to curb stomp the field. He was 8/10 faster than second place.
Under fire by Andres Perez, who peeks inside as they come to turn 3 for the first time. Look at Perez trying to keep the fender inside of Reimer, as Sawalich is going to come around and lead the opening lap.
Yeah, Perez had the left front fender against the inside guardrail. For now, Reimer holds him off.
Sawalich the leader, Kowski second,
Reimer third, Perez in 4th. Right, clear for 5th. And we got Christian Rose trying to take on LeVar Scott.
Where he started at the conclusion of this first lap and a half.
Tony Breidinger all the way up, already in 11th. Let's start up to 12th. We're busted up to 14th.
Without a lot of dirt experience, that this racetrack will eventually drive almost like a pavement racetrack. You see them hung out a little bit, not like the open wheel sprint cars and midgets that we see completely crossways.
Talking about racetracks evolving and changing over time. I think when you look at the 2 dirt races, they may be one of the steepest challenges for teams and drivers in terms of adaptation throughout the duration of this race. Sawalich's lead up over a second over that of Kowski. Got some heavy racing going on there in the midfield. That's Christian Rose.
We got a wreck. Brian Clubb on the inside of the backstretch.
That car didn't make it all the way off the racing surface.
Oh,
we'll see how long
didn't wreck. They tried to get the thing off the track, but the car is a piece of crap. I think it's literally there to start and park, and that's it.
Was able to grab that spot from LeVar Scott. There's Sean for the yellow number 8 right behind that battle.
Sean Core in that 8 car making his 3rd start of the season.
Caution.
Now we see the caution flag flying. We believe it is for the number 86 of Brian Clubb that was not able to get off the racetrack on the back straightaway. We were actually talking with some ARCA Menards Series representatives early, and they said that if you are going to pull off the racetrack on that backstretch, that will remove you from competition. Well, we do have our race break on or around lap 50. The teams will be able to receive their drivers off the racetrack on the front stretch area of the pits. They'll have to go on out and get Brian Cove's car. William Sawalich has led all 4 of the opening laps. We'll be back to Springfield.
There we go. The whole field on the leaderboard. No.
How do I like my coffee? With room for international delight.
Oh, we wait. Now, NASCAR just had opening ceremonies, and as soon as they're done with that, I'm going to go over the starting lineup. Although rain has been a consistent worry for this weekend. You know what? While this commercial is going on, I'm just going to go over the starting lineup for Michigan. So, starting 36th, driving the number 15, Parts Plus Ford for Rick Ware Racing. 28 years old from Greensboro, North Carolina, Cody Ware, 36th in points, running part-time. Starting 35th, driving the number 16, Leaf Filter Gutter Protection Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 42 years old from Los Gatos, California, AJ Allmendinger, an Xfinity regular this year. Starting 34th, driving the number 21, Motorcraft Quick Lane Ford for the Wood Brothers. 23 years old from Huntersville, North Carolina, 34th in points, Harrison Burton. And starting 33rd, driving the number 42, Mobile One Toyota for Legacy Motor Club. 27 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, John Hunter Nemechek, 32nd in points. Starting lineup was determined by a metric, not by qualifying. Starting 32nd, driving the number 31, Poppy Bank Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 33 years old from Kannapolis, North Carolina, Corey LaJoy. Oh god, that weather looks terrible. Why was Steve Phelps talking to Denny Hamlin? Starting 31st, driving number 7, Garner Tracking Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 32 years old from Concord, North Carolina, Corey LaJoy. 29th in points. I think I might have forgotten to say that Hemrick is 30th in points. Doubling back to Nemechek, 32nd in points. Starting 30th, driving the number 47, Country Crock Minute Rice Chevrolet for JTG Daugherty Racing. 36 years old from Olive Branch, Mississippi, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 25th in points. And starting 29th, driving the number 51, Fraternal Order of Eagles Ford for Rick Ware Racing. 25 years old from Winamac, Indiana, Justin Haley, 28th in points. And we're going green again at Springfield, so I'll continue after the racing gets going again. Restart at Springfield. Kelly Kowski getting a good restart, but can he stay with the ever so dominant Sawalich? No, he can't. Here comes Perez on the inside to go for second. But Kowski gets right by.
Up off the corner.
Thought he may have been in trouble, perhaps maybe jumping the cushion a little bit there in 1 and 2, but Kofsky will hold on to the second spot over the new third place runner Perez.
Ooh, Taylor Reimer gets way out of the groove. Goes from fourth to tangles it with Sean Corr. 3 wide. That was not a good run there. He's gonna fall out near outside the top 10 with that one. That was ugly.
Robusto, those two ladies that started towards the back, at the very back, actually moved just outside the top 10. Look at Isabella Robusto.
Robusto up to 8th place ahead of Sean Corr.
As well.
Well, that beat and bang and cost Corr a few spots as well. Reimer has fallen back into, scored 9th last time around, to lose a couple of more spots here. Once Simon Torrent picks up that both Robusto and Breininger got around the 55.
Yeah, it was just a situation where she just got wide, got out of the grip down on the bottom of the racetrack. You see the dark part of the racetrack. That's where the grip is right now. She was outside of that and lost several possessions. As you mentioned, she's back to the 11th spot.
This time around, Sawalich hasn't been able to open up more than a half-second lead over that of Kelly Kofsky. Chris Wright, the new third-place runner, he got up to and around Perez as we were watching.
Reimer trying to get back around Sean Corr.
Side by side yet again.
Gets the position.
Yeah, Reimer has position. She was able to grab that spot back from Sean Corr.
Potential Reese's Sweet Move of the race nominee here. This save by that of Sean Corr was getting ping-ponged around between a couple of cars off 4.
And then they come off the corner 3 wide. And he's the
I don't know if I'm
sandwich.
better here, but I can update the
Don't forget,
55.
3 p.m. Eastern Time.
What's this reporter doing? I heard her before. I thought I was hearing things.
Sweet move of the race here from Springfield. Sean Corr, an early nominee with that glove save and a beauty.
Okay, muting this, and then I'm going to continue going over the starting lineup. Starting 28th, driving the number 43 Dollar Tree Toyota for Legacy Motor Club. 28 years old from Byron, Michigan. Eric Jones, 27th in points. Starting 27th, driving the number 71 Focused Health Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 25 years old from Huntington Beach, California. Zane Smith, 33rd in points, and the first of the 3 rookies in the field. Starting 26th, driving the number 41 United Rentals Ford for Stewart Haas Racing. 33 years old from Berlin, Connecticut. Ryan Priest, 26th in points. And starting 25th, driving the number 10 Overstock.com Ford for Stewart Haas Racing. Oops, someone did. Oh, no, it was just a glitch. 26 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada. Noah Gregson, 24th in points. All right, we're up to 16th. Starting 24th, driving the number 19 Auto Owners Insurance Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 44 years old from Mayetta, New Jersey. Martin Truex Jr., 8th in points, and the oldest driver in the field. Starting 23rd, driving the number 2 Discount Tire Ford for Team Penske. 25 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina. Austin Cindric, 20th in points. Starting 22nd, driving the number 48 Ally Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 31 years old from Tucson, Arizona. Alex Bowman, 10th in points. And starting 21st, driving the number 14 HighPoint.com Ford for Stewart Haas Racing. 29 years old from Mitchell, Indiana. Chase Briscoe. Do we have another incident? Chase, who is 17th in points. Looks like contact, but was that Reimer and Robusto? Anyway, Reimer is now battling Amber Balkan. This is for the 9th position. Chris Wright has passed by Kelly Kofsky for 2nd place. Starting 20th, driving the number 38 Grillo's Pickles Ford for Front Row Motorsports. 24 years old from Sherrills Ford, North Carolina, Todd Gilliland, 19th in points. Starting 19th, driving the number 54 Monster Energy Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 21 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina, Ty Gibbs, 11th in points. Starting 16th, driving the number 4 Overstock.com Ford for Stewart Haas Racing. 33 years old from Hendersonville, Tennessee, Josh Berry, 23rd in points. Wait, I skipped one. Starting 18th, driving the number 17 Fifth Third Bank Ford for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. 31 years old from Prosper, Texas, Chris Buescher, 13th in points. And starting 17th, driving the number 34 Martin Transportation Services Ford for Front Row Motorsports. 39 years old from Glendale, Arizona, Michael McDowell, 21st in points. Starting 15th, driving the number 4, Overstock.com Ford for Stewart Haas Racing. 33 years old from Hendersonville, Tennessee, Josh Berry, 23rd in points in the second of the 3 rookies. Starting 15th. Berry was 16th. Starting 15th, driving the number 6, Castrol Edge Ford for Roush Fenwick Kozlowski Racing. 40 years old from Rochester Hills, Michigan, Brad Kozlowski, 9th in points. And starting 14th, driving the number 22, Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. 34 years old from Middletown, Connecticut, Joey Logano, 15th in points. And starting 13th, driving the number 8, Lucas Oil Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. 39 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada, Kyle Busch, 18th in points. Starting 12th, driving the number 99, Jockey Infinite Cool Underwear Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. 32 years old from Monterrey, Mexico, Daniel Suarez, 16th in points. And starting 11th, driving the number 77, Premier Security, Ziegler.com Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 21 years old from Portage, Michigan, Carson Hocevar, 22nd in points and the highest starting rookie. Now in the top 10, starting 10th, driving the number 3, Dow Mobility Science Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. 34 years old from Louisville, North Carolina, Austin Dillon, 31st in points. Starting 9th, driving the number 24, RaptorTough.com Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 26 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina, William Byron, 7th in points. Starting 8th, driving the number 12, Menards Dutch Boy Ford for Team Penske. 30 years old from High Point, North Carolina, Ryan Blaney, 5th in points and the highest starting Ford. And starting 7th, driving the number 1, Busch Light Peach Ford for Team Penske. 30 years old from High Point, North Carolina, Ryan Blaney, 5th in... 31 years old from Alva, Florida, Ross Chastain, 14th in points. Jesus Christ. Number 1, Busch Light Peach Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. 31 years old from Alva, Florida, Ross Chastain. That was 14 points. That was bad. Starting 6th, driving the number 9, Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 28 years old from Dawsonville, Georgia, Chase Elliott, 3rd in points. Starting 5th, driving the number 23, McDonald's Toyota for 2311 Racing. 30 years old from Mobile, Alabama, Bubba Wallace, 12th in points. Starting 4th, driving the number 5, HendrickCars.com Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 32 years old from Elk Grove, California, Kyle Larson, the points leader in the high starting Chevrolet. And starting 3rd, driving the number 20, Rheem Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 29 years old from Norman, Oklahoma, Christopher Bell, 6th in points. Starting 2nd, driving the number 45, McDonald's Toyota for 2311 Racing. 28 years old from Corning, California, Tyler Reddick, 2nd in points. And on pole, driving the number 11, Yahoo Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 43 years old from Chesterfield, Virginia, Denny Hamlin, 4th in points. As for specific track-specifics things, Chris Buescher has won here once. Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, and Chris Buescher all have a single win at this track apiece. Denny Hamlin's won here twice. Kyle Larson and Joey Logano have won here 3 times. The track record for wins is David Pearson with 9. Now, both ARCA and NASCAR are not having racing yet. NASCAR's still going through pace laps. ARCA's under commercial. I won't show the leaderboard for NASCAR until ARCA ends. This because I know a lot of my fans are here for, the people who are watching this are here for the ARCA race. That I'm not sure how far the NASCAR race will get before it goes to a caution for rain. The weather looks like crap. I'll still commentate it. Brad Smith looks like he's parked his car, so that leaves 18 cars on the track. Nate Muller a lap down. Bryce Hogberg a lap down. Still under pace laps. Back.
See dirt double event of 2024 with the ARCA Menards series, and we have our second
caution
flag waving with William Sawalich still the race leader.
Is that Michael Maples I saw
Wright,
slow?
0.8 of a second behind prior to the yellow coming out.
It's a Toyota.
So it may have been a problem.
Nate Muller.
Muller in the 06. He is rolling slowly on the backstretch.
The 06 car.
The backstretch pit area.
One of the cars that was already running a lap down.
As well. He was running
that still leaves 17 cars on the track.
Car that has been on the move since the very beginning of the race, but while we're away at commercial break,
Robusto, she's up to fourth.
You see some debris there, probably from Nate Muller's car, but Isabella was able to get by Christian Rose and Andres Perez now, put her up to the 4th spot. So she's, again, consistently been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack lap after lap, and she will restart after this caution in the 2nd row. So it's going to be fun to watch her.
It's going to provide an opportunity to ratchet the field closer together. At the time of the yellow, Isabella was about 10 seconds off of William Sawalich. When they re-rack the field, she'll be just one row behind.
Gotta get the debris off, though.
Whenever the restart comes up here, fortunately, wasn't intended, but we get a bit of a quarter-way race break here at this point to re-rack the field as they have to negotiate their way around the debris that was
I'm being told that the Cup race is not going to start. They're coming back down pit road.
Also been really impressed with Chris Wright. Chris Wright is not known to be a dirt racer, but his lap times are mirroring William Sawalich's, again, among the fastest 2 or 3 cars every single lap on the racetrack.
Well, the 20 car of Isabella Robusto is not the only one cutting a trail to the front. Tony Breidinger has done a great job as well.
Breidinger up to 8th.
And she's going to be restarting from the 8th position. When I talked to her today, she says she's pretty nervous coming into this race because she's not much of a dirt racer, but something helping her calm her nerves, or I should say someone, is her spotter. Corey Heim, that's right, championship contender in the truck series. He's in the spotter stand telling her everything she needs to know, and she's told me he really knows how to get around this place, so I'm going to do whatever he tells me to do. He has 3 starts here at Springfield, 1 here last year from the pole. I asked him how Tony was doing today, and he told me that she's just struggled with passing, so that's going to be their biggest challenge. But this is the first time Corey has been on top of the spotter stand spotting a race. He said, so this is a learning curve for me as well, but he really enjoys getting a different perspective on what the spotters are dealing with. And he said it's always good for us to broaden our horizons in any way that we can.
Thanks, Heather. Heim went to victory lane here in 2021. And that opens up the opportunity to see what Corey's going to be doing next week. We got a doubleheader for the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah, this same ARCA Menards series will lead us off at 1 o'clock, and then the first race of the playoff.
The Xfinity Cup
series
trucks.
At 4 o'clock. It's going to be a great one. Ty Majeski will be coming into that race on a roll, and that's a home race for him, too. So he's going to be the guy to beat, I think, when we get to Milwaukee.
Trying to determine his own fate if he can go out there and win that race, as are all the other playoff contenders for the Milwaukee Mile event next Sunday. The ARCA Menards Series and Craftsman Truck Series. Second caution of the race. You see the cleanup crew working in turn number 1 with Sawalich having led the whole way. And Phil, you mentioned Chris Wright not having all that much dirt experience. 1 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series start at Knoxville in 2022. Besides that, a couple of legend car starts at dirt national events, and that's about it. And he has been super fast so far today.
Yeah, sure has. Again, he's been matching William Sawalich's lap times. Been really impressive. He's really done a nice job here, especially here lately. He's coming off 5 top 10s in a row coming into this race, and we had that great barn burner of a race at Elko just a couple of weeks ago when they had a 3-wide finish at the start-finish line. He got 3rd. All 3 cars were completely sideways, and he ended up spinning down through, did not hit the inside wall. But what a great effort by Chris Wright and all those drivers.
Change the thumbnail.
Almost had a chance to steal one there with LeVar Scott and Sawalich beating and banging off one another. He almost kind of swept through them both there and beat them to the line. Hoping to do so here this afternoon as he is up to the 2nd spot and will line up alongside of Sawalich when we are ready to restart this race.
We talked about the huge point lead that Andres Perez had coming into this race.
Because rain is going to be a problem. It's going to be problematic.
We jinxed him, but he is in the garage area.
And if it gets restarted tomorrow, I will not be able to stream the Cup race.
He is off the racetrack in the garage area. Tough break for a driver that hasn't finished out of the top 10 since Daytona. So that will certainly, if LeVar Scott can have a decent race, that will tighten up that point battle that we've been talking about.
You see the teams do take some extra initiative to try to protect the front openings of these race cars. Some do it a little bit more stylish than others. And even though those preventative measures are taken, sometimes, and if you look at the attrition list of the dirt races over the last few years, sometimes things can still go wrong and impact these cars in a big, big way. We'll try to confirm what has that 2 car behind the wall, and that opens up a massive opportunity for LeVar Scott.
Oh, Andres Perez is behind the wall now?
He has a lot of dirt experience.
Well, that sucks.
Stock cars. He's had to lean on Andres Perez.
He got up to Perez was up to second. Was as high as I think. Well, he was in 5th actually, not 2nd. But that sucks for Perez. Another chance to potentially get a win. Denied.
Normally take the air in at the bottom, but it's more effective on this dirt to take the air in. You get less mud in the upper part of that grill than you do at the bottom part of the grill. So that's why most of these cars will take the air in at the top. You see the same thing with Chris Wright's car as well as Isabella's. But unfortunately for Andres Perez, whatever the case may be, a little bit of temperature, we think, that brought him to pit road.
Let's get an update on the championship points leader, Andres Perez. Here's Heather.
And Phil, that's absolutely correct. The 2 was overheating. You brought it down pit road, and it actually, there's a hole in the radiator. They actually removed the radiator fan as well. So for our points leader of Andres Perez, and tough on them.
Yeesh.
There is no damage to the front nose like you were talking about where the grill block and the screen is over the fan. So something must have came up under the car and punched a hole in that radiator on the 2.
Thanks, Heather. We did see a good bit of divots in turn 1 where the 06 had his offer, or his instance, if you will. Cleanup still continuing from that. We'll be back right after this.
And read that. Da 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 da. Bum ba da 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 da. By my count, that's 4 cars off track. Bryce Hogberg got the free pass.
Back here at Springfield, about to wrap up our second caution of the race with race leader William Sawalich having led from the drop of the green flag after capturing the General Tire pole award earlier on this afternoon, with Chris Wright
I'm trying to see my image.
way up into second. And row 2 is going to be made up of Kelly Kovsky and Isabella Robusto from the back row of the field, now up to 4th, 1 lap away from going green.
Yeah, just about a quarter of the race, too, so that shows how impressive she is and how impressive that car is, too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her up here with the guys that have been the fastest cars, the 18 of Sawalich, 15 of Chris Wright, and the 16 of Kovsky.
Behind Robusto, you've got Christian Rose and LeVar Scott, going to be the 3rd row for the restart. And then a pair of Benarini Motorsports teammates, Tony Breidinger and Taylor Reimer, taking you through row number 4. Amber Balk and Sean Corr rounding out your top 10. Again, championship points leader Andres Perez behind the wall. And the word from the pit area is that his race is over. So a big opportunity for teammate LeVar Scott to potentially make up some ground. The 6th car will be restarting in the 6th spot for this restart outside row 3 as we get set to get back underway.
You saw the 18 of Sawalich move to the inside down the backstretch. That's to try to find a little moisture.
There, I saw my image. Barely, but I saw it. All right, here we go. We're going to go green again at Springfield with 32 laps are going to have been in the books. Another 18 to the halfway break.
Sawalich, Wright. Then in the 3rd row, Kovsky and Robusto. Back underway from Springfield.
Here we go.
Tightly bunched field approaches turn 1. Look at Wright wrestling the car in that top groove.
Sawalich easily going to clear for the lead.
Watch Kovsky see if he can try to take advantage.
Kelly Kovsky trying to get the inside. Not able to get by Wright for second.
Hold on to that 2nd spot.
Kovsky 3rd, Robusto 4th. Sawalich able to survive yet another restart. The last 2, it appeared as though the car on the outside would have a fighting chance when they got to the first turn. No major threat yet to Sawalich as Kovsky's got it hanging out wide off 4.
I'd like to see if Isabella can challenge Kovsky for that 3rd position. Right now, I think she can learn a lot by following Kelly Kovsky. As good as she may not be patient enough to follow him. Look, she's going to get to his inside.
It's trying already.
Didn't have to wait long to see Isabella in the 20 offer a challenge, the dirt racing veteran. Kovsky in the 16, Robusto in the 20, Christian Rose in the 32. This the battle for 3rd on back. And Robusto just able
to the inside of Kelly Kovsky off turn number 4. The fight for 3rd place continuing. I think she's going to clear it in the next turn. She does.
Give Isabella the 3rd spot.
Kovsky able to come down and defend the 4th position from that of Christian Rose, who had a peek to the bottom side.
We'll keep an eye on the scoring monitor now to see what kind of ground that Isabella may be.
And she started at 19.
Now that she has some clear racetrack.
Unfortunately for Kovsky, he's not only falling back into the clutches of Rose, but there's a Congo line that's developed behind him. That's Breidinger in the 25, Reimer in the 55. LeVar Scott lost 2 spots since the restart. He's back to
8th place.
That's not what he wants right now. You mentioned the fact that he has a great opportunity to close that point gap to his teammate.
Oh, Hogberg is still a lap down.
Right now being shown in the 8th spot.
Now you already got lapped.
Rose not able to draw closer than about a car length and a half to the back bumper of Kovsky. Tony Breidinger, Taylor Reimer, here's Scott in the 6, and Amber Balkan in the 22, taking you through the battle for about the 6th to 9th place position. Sean Corr has fallen off of this group as he rounds out the top 10.
The impressive run by Christian Rose as well. Again, not
He's up to 5th place.
Racer, but holding on to that 5th spot. There he is right there, keeping pace with Kovsky.
Saw Reimer having a peek to the inside of her teammate, Tony Breidinger, 4th position. Tucked back in line for the time being. Reimer, after getting kicked up out of the groove and falling out of the top 10, washes a little bit wide there off 4. That may cost Reimer a spot to Scott, who's on the inside. They bang doors getting off into the corner. Now Reimer's trying to keep that car in the groove.
We talk about them fighting for the inside of the racetrack, but that was some beating and banging for the inside of the racetrack.
Scott repassing Taylor Reimer for P7, and here comes Amber Balkan by Reimer for P8.
It's been kind of an ebb and flow day so far for Taylor Reimer. A little bit of back and forth in terms of climbing and falling through the positions. This time she's going to drop back to 9th. Here's what happened going into turn 1, 6 inside, 55 outside. They touched multiple times.
Yeah, Taylor Reimer was wanting to keep as tight as she could towards the inside of the racetrack, and LeVar Scott was just trying to get a little bit of an angle to get in, a little bit of an arc to get in the racetrack, and they made that contact. And here comes Taylor trying to get back by Amber, who took advantage of her being pushed up the racetrack to grab that spot.
Amber is going to run.
Wow, Balkan runs wide, and Reimer takes 8th place.
To protect the spot over Sean Core, who's coming quickly. But Amber's going to give up the 8th spot to her teammate Reimer.
About 10 laps away from our race break. These teams will have 5 minutes to change tires, add fuel, and do whatever adjustments they can do in that 5-minute period.
Things settle out a little bit for the positions down the bottom portion of the top 10. Sawallish has thus far been the dominator. Backfill only a few laps ago. Sawallish laid down a flyer.
Yeah, I love that.
Amazingly, you can see the amount of rubber that the tires have laid down. It's just this black ring going to the inside of the turns and the outsides of the straightaways.
Battle for first and second after she got by Kelikowski. She is not. She's not quite as quick right now as our 2 leaders, Sawallich and Chris Wright.
I mean, she's probably not going to catch up to either of them. She can play it safe for now and try to, but her chance to make moves is on the next restart at halfway.
I talked to crew chief Kevin Reed Jr. today. He told me that Isabel is really well wherever we have taken her. He said, I just love that she's ready to go. He loves her attitude and her work ethic. And when I spoke to her earlier, she said,
something. Caution. What happened? The feed completely broke. What happened?
Is out again here at Springfield.
For what?
31 laps complete.
For what?
It is a flat tire on the 8 car of Sean
Core, flat tire.
Spot at the time.
This might be a huge break for Sean if he's able to stay on the racetrack, get to pit road, make that tire change without losing a lap.
There you see the 8 car of Core rolling gingerly down the back straightaway. You can see that car hopping. It looks as though it is the right rear that has gone down.
It's popped up like it's a monster car. Monster truck. Wait, what happened to Chris Wright?
And Kevin Reed Jr. talking about the fact that she's ready to go whenever she gets the call. I think Brent Cruz was actually scheduled to run this race for Venturini Motorsports, but with the postponement of the Cars Tour race from last week that ran on Friday night, that, by the way, he won, he was not going to be available, so they tapped Isabella, and what a great job she's doing.
Why is Chris Wright back in 14th?
See Core making his way back to the pit area. See the decal on the hood of that race car? Sean is someone who is involved in the transportation sector in several different ways, including dubbing himself as a substitute bus driver if and when there's needs. He didn't sell sponsorship for the hood decal, so he decided to drop flashing red Kids Ahead to raise awareness as we are in the midst of back to school season at this point of the year. To warn
Chris Wright makes it to pit. Sean Core makes it to pit road.
Their stop paddles and flashes on. It's a great effort there by Core to raise some awareness in a key point of the year. And the car that was in second place at the
time, Chris Wright
to a stop.
Yeah, unbelievable. A lot going on here. That's inside of turn number 3 for Chris Wright. And will move Isabella Robusto up to the 2nd spot. Not sure exactly what's going on here with the 15 of Chris Wright. Obviously, that car will not fire, because the field is circulating around under the caution.
Wright has been very impressive
Unbelievable.
all race long. He'll get the assistance of a push truck as we are at yet another caution. We'll be back at Springfield for more.
Good Lord. So now we've lost another car.
College, you you get more value
And we've
every
lost
step
a
of the
good
way.
car, and now a
Getting
decent
your
car
degree is more affordable
is gonna
than ever.
is off with a flat tire. That'll be fixed, but Jesus Christ. Wait, Bryce Hogberg is 9 down. He must have. Huh? So with Bryce Hogberg off and Chris Wright off and Sean Corr the flat tire. So that leaves 13 cars on the lead lap. Out of 20? Oh, God. We've lost 35%. We lost a third of the field, basically, off the lead lap. I mean, Sean Corr will probably get a free pass, assuming he can get back on the... Well, he'll get a free pass if he gets back out. The question is, how many laps will he be down? Look, if I can get another top 10, I will be very happy. Yeah, okay. Looks like they got Sean Corr back on track. I think.
Champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, wait.
I will continue.
Chris Wright is going again. So,
we saw Chris Wright get pushed to the pit area after the caution flag waved. The car rolled to a stop, and Phil, you noted the fact that he had to get pushed all the way back to the pit area, got to the attention of his crew, and he's back out there.
Yeah, what an incredible job by the crew, though. I think he only lost the one lap.
That's
doing
pretty
it.
good.
So great job by the Venturini team.
all right. So,
To get that car
86,
back out there.
48, 06, 2, 10 are off or out.
When we see another caution flag.
One looming question we're keeping an eye on. We are inching closer to lap 50. We have not received word if this caution is going to count towards the race break just yet, or if maybe ARCA officials will try to get a short dash in before we hit that lap 50 point, which will be a 5-minute opportunity for the teams to work on their cars.
Yeah, we're hearing that they will come to 1 to go this time. They will double up for the restart. It'll be a great opportunity. It's going to be a good battle for a couple laps between Sean Corr and Chris Wright to try to see who can get that free pass when the caution will come back out for that race break. Again, on or near lap 50 is when we'll see that race break.
Front row is going to have a new look to it. Sawallich, the control car with Isabella Robusto now up into that second spot. It what has been an incredible run up through the pack. We're not even halfway just yet. And from the back row to the front row is Isabella Robusto.
Remember, here she is going by Amber Balkan. She's well up inside the top 10 early. Now around the
At least I can enjoy the ARCA race without anything overlapping with it. So I was hoping the Xfinity races be it overlaps with both Indy Next and Gateway IndyCar itself.
Third spot here. What a great run for Isabella Robusto.
Prior to her most recent start at Elko, there was an event held in her hometown, Fort Mill, South Carolina. They hosted a meet and greet at a local bar in the area, and they followed it up with a watch party for the event, at which Isabella went on to finish fourth with. Isabella decided to use that gathering for greater good. She raised over $1,000 for the NASCAR Foundation in those two separate events. She is so grateful for the people that not only support her, but the ability to pass some of that support onto those who may be in greater need. And she is lining up to the outside here of Sawalich for this restart.
Yeah, I've been watching Isabella race since she was about 8 years old when she started running Bandoleros. So what a great family, and what a great race car driver. She has really blossomed.
Now going to try her hand against the driver who has led every single lap so far this afternoon in Williams Sawalich in the Joe Gibbs Racing number 18, alongside the Venerini Motorsports number 20. Remember, Brent Cruz took that team to victory lane 1 year ago. Isabella trying to do it and pave her own history on the outside. It'll be a short sprint to the halfway point. Sawalich and Robusto bringing us down to the restart.
All right, here we go. Green again, probably for another 3 laps until the race break. Here we go again at Springfield. Robusto trying to be aggressive right off the start. Kelly Kowski to the inside of Robusto. Also hyper aggressive. Sawalich gets away cleanly. Kelly Kowski now to second place.
Move Kowski up into that runner-up spot.
If I'm Isabella, I think I'm fine falling back to third. That means she will restart third potentially after the race break, and she'll have that inside that Kelly Kowski took advantage of.
That's a great point, though. We've seen some drivers pose a threat to the leader on these starts and restarts, but it hasn't worked for anybody just yet. Maybe this is by design.
Just a heads up that Chris Wright now hasn't been able to get by Sean Core. He is in the free
Chris
pass
Wright moves
position.
into the free pass position.
If he can hold on to that until this caution comes out for the race break, then he'll be back on the lead lap.
And that momentary fight for the second spot has allowed Sawalich to open the lead up to about a full second yet again, as he's done a couple of times so far here this afternoon. Coming around to kick off what would be lap 50. Sawalich ahead of Kowski in the 16, Robusto in the 20. Christian Rose having a great afternoon as well in fourth. And the other Venerini car that came from the back row, Tony Kreidinger, rounding out the top 5.
Again, if I'm Isabella, I just hang there in third.
One more lap.
Restart on the inside. Remember, ARCA Menards Series does not choose. The leader has his choice of inside or outside. The leader is always going to take the inside here at this racetrack.
All right, this will fit complete lap 50. Come on, bring out the caution. You're gonna have the break. Do it now.
Taylor Reimer, after getting drop kicked, probably out of the top 5 and top 10 a couple of times today from running up wide, back up into 6th. So Taylor and that team may be looking forward to this race break and the ensuing restart that will follow.
I guess we'll continue waiting.
She can climb.
Yeah, she's passed a lot of cars, as you mentioned. She's been bounced around.
Robusto trying to get back to the inside of Kowski. Not there yet. Lap 52.
Kowski was a little bit wide coming off the corner.
Starting.
Might open that inside up for Isabella. It's not a surprise that we're going to extend this into a little bit.
Now we go. We got one extra lap. All right, and thus we have the 5-minute break.
ARCA officials let these cars run a little bit since we had a restart so close to that lap 50 mark.
Let's go into a race, the 3-second advantage that Sawalich built up, but we all knew this yellow was coming. It'll be a 5-minute opportunity for the teams to be able to work on their cars, change tires, and add fuel. After what was probably one of the most competitive restarts we've had so far today, Robusto tried to stay with Sawalich all the way.
Again, she's trying to get him to the inside as much as she can so she can stay down in the better part of the racetrack. And Sawalich wants to have a little bit of an angle in the corner. We saw the same thing getting in turn 3 earlier with LeVar Scott. But no harm, no foul. Just minor contact.
And as you said, Phil, it may come back to Isabella's favor being on the inside of that second row when we do restart this race. The outside has been a tough road to hoe for the front row starters pretty much all afternoon long.
Great opportunity for these crew chiefs to make some changes.
Jet dryers on the track at Michigan. I'll only stream if the cars get back, if the drivers get into their cars. Even then, I don't think it's. You know what? I don't think I'm going to do a stream for Michigan. It's just not. I mean, the rain only because of the rain screwing it up.
This year, we actually get to race.
These guys are sprint car drivers, stock car drivers, drifters. Here, they're going to drive something that requires a different sense of discipline.
It's a group of 12 guys who are really good at driving race cars.
Team NOS Zero Sugar, Team NOS Original,
Team Sonic Sour, Team GT Grape.
We're not sure how these cars are going to drive.
Let's go racing.
First race of the 2024 Performance C Dirt Double has reached the halfway point here in Springfield as we have hit our race break for the ARCA Menards Series drivers and teams, and this is what they are allowed to do at this time.
Yeah, they can have 4 crew members allowed over the wall. They can change 4 tires and add fuel. They just cannot do that at the same time. And the restart order will be set by the order at the time of caution. We're taking a look at Kelly Kopsky right there. He grabbed that second spot from Isabella Robusto on that restart, so he will restart this race second. Great afternoon for Kelly Kopsky so far. Looking for that first win here in the ARCA Menards Series.
It's been close so many times. In fact, focuses a lot of his attention to these dirt races. All but 2 of his prior 35 ARCA Menards Series starts have come on dirt track platforms with the series. The race break will continue. We'll update you on some of the changes and amendments race teams chose to make when we come back to Springfield. Race leader William Sawalich is trying to do something that's only been done once before, and that is lead every lap of an event for the ARCA Menards series held here at Springfield. Last time and only time that happened was in 2022. And that was when we got to see Jesse Love go to victory lane. However, that race was shortened to 73 laps. So Sawalich will be the first one to do it the full distance. Let's take a look at the Richmond mid-race report. Let's get an update on our race leader in William Sawalich.
Yeah, Heather reported us during the commercial break that he was complaining about that car being tight, but Matt Ross, his crew chief, was hesitant to do anything because their drive up off the corner is so good. So, and if you try to free that car up where it's not quite as tight, then you probably will pay for it up off the corner. But they want to keep that drive. As you mentioned, he's led every single one of these laps. And let's see what kind of changes some of the other teams have made and see if they can maybe close that gap a little bit to Sawalich. You talk about laps led. Coming into this race, in his 8 starts, he led over 60% of all the laps that he was even potentially able to run. So an amazing season for William Sawalich. We talk about our point battle. Obviously, William Sawalich is not part of that because he's not yet 18 years old. We mentioned that Andres Perez wasn't 18 last year when the season started, but he was able to join the series right after that race at Daytona and ran all but that one race. William Sawalich now not able to run any racetrack that's over 1.25 miles in length, but that's going to change towards the end of the year. After our season ends here in the ARCA Menards series, he will turn 18 and then shift his focus towards the end of the year to some Xfinity races for Joe Gibbs.
His schedule is going to get pretty populated towards the end of the year, and we might see a lot more of things like this, the amount of times he's gone to victory lane.
William Sawalich, this kid is full of talent. He's always fast. You know he's the car to beat.
Had a couple truck series starts this year on the shorter tracks, and he'll make his Xfinity debut at Homestead later this year. I think he's running the last 3 races. He's won 5 races. Last 4, no, 4 of the, wait, 5 races this year in ARCA.
All those victories came with different circumstances. We've seen him dominate, lead every lap. We've seen him have to battle back at Elko, win at close margins. And as we said, his schedule is only going to get busier, especially once he turns 18 in October in terms of his professional slate. Now he may
probably go to Xfinity next year, replacing Sheldon Creed.
Truck races as well for Tricon Garage. And right at the end of that little piece, you saw that finish at Elko that we alluded to earlier, that 3-wide finish that he was able to come out on top.
So Sawalich has led all the way. He's starting alongside the driver who is outside pole to start this race. And Kelly Kopsky. Isabella Robusto started towards the back of the field up to 3rd. We did see the 20 and 16 battling for that 2nd spot. Isabella may be in a prime position here. 2nd car on the inside lane as Sawalich has picked the bottom. They'll come up to the restart zone. Race break concluded.
All right, time to get going with the second half of the Springfield ARCA 100. Going green again on lap 55. Hello.
experience.
Deborah
Kowski.
DBL.
See both of those cars spin the tires just a little bit.
I'm trying to get a really aggressive run on Sawalich. Not able to complete that. Sawalich already clear by a car length.
To the inside of Kowski, not able to do it that time. Now see if she
Robusto trying to pull the inside of Kowski.
Especially with how good the 18 of Sawalich has been fresh off the jump of these runs. If anybody wants to try to contend with him, they can't allow him to break free again at this juncture of the race.
Richard Rose lost several positions on this restart. He restarted 4th. He's back down to the 7th spot now. Moves Tony Breitner up to the 4th spot, excuse me.
We've been talking about Isabella's charge up through the field. Tip your cap to Tony Breitner as well.
She's up to 4th.
Side by side, 19th and 20th.
She's got dessert experience, the most wins for a female in USAC.
You'll see that she has 19 wins in USAC sanctioned events. However, that was pavement USAC sanctioned events.
Oh.
Not a lot of dirt experience.
Never mind what I said then, because it's pointless to compare.
And some Western midget races. She's picking up on the prowess that it takes to do well in these.
Taylor Reimer up to 6th.
Very quickly.
We caught a glimpse of Taylor Reimer also able to make a pass by Amber Balkin.
Wait, why is Chris Wright a lap down again?
Reimer up to the 6th spot.
Do you have more power issues?
Cars, 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th.
Here's that pass. She's going to get by Amber Balkin. She just got by the 32 of Christian Rose. Taylor makes the pass on her teammate Amber Balkin. Move her up to 6th.
Robusto trying to make the move on Kowski. Kowski blocks. Kowski slips in 2. Here comes Robusto to 2nd place.
Better. She chased down Kowski in that first half of the race before that late caution where she lost that 2nd spot on the restart.
That may give us another Reese's Sweet Move of the Race nominee. That move there by Robusto on Kowski for 2nd. You see the 16 try to come across the bow and close that door. Opens up again for Isabella to walk right through it.
Yeah, Kelly just got in the corner just a tick too hard, slid up off the bottom of the racetrack and opened it up for Isabella. And she was able to make the pass. Now she's driven away about a half a dozen car lengths over that 16 of Kowski.
Actually, that is fast.
2 seconds from Sawalich to Robusto, who's the new runner-up.
Caution.
Yellow flag is
For
out.
what?
A handful of laps past the race break.
Alex Clubb. He was running 9th too.
Hometown race.
Ouch.
Gotten that car up into the wall with the left side.
Alex was running in the 9th spot on the lead lap, having a great run. That probably will be terminal damage.
Sean Corr will get the free pass.
Suspension where you can see the bodywork wrinkled.
Alex started in the 10th position, was pretty much up in the top 10 all race long, and even though he's a full-time ARCA competitor, he considers himself to be a bit of a dirt regular. He's won 3 track championships throughout his career, all on dirt tracks, spanning from 2003 to 2012, and he says that he and this small team, they exhaust all efforts into these races at this racetrack specifically, not being too far from his hometown in Morris, Illinois.
They have started off the season with a great 8th place finish at Daytona. I know how much, as you mentioned, he was looking forward to this race here.
So another yellow flag, this one for that of Alex Clubb, who finds the wall in turn 1. We'll be back to Springfield right after this.
Refreshing ginger ale.
We're waiting up.
Best One is brought to you by
And all the
General
rides at
Tire.
the Illinois
General
State
Tire
Fair.
delivers the freedom to explore. And by Reese's. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Reese's. Not sorry. Back here at the Illinois State Fairgrounds on what is the final day of the fair here in 2024, with the ARCA Menards Series being the headlining event at the Springfield Mile, the first race in the Performance Seat Dirt Double in 2024. And Phil, so far, I think we've seen just about everything. Comers, goers. The only thing we haven't seen yet is a lead change, but it seems like we flirted with that a couple of times. We might get one here in one of these late race restarts. There's some challengers working their way up towards the back bumper of that 18.
We saw how Isabella worked so hard to get that second spot back from the 16 to Kelikowski, but that means she will have to restart this race from the outside. So you got to be careful what you wish for, but you got to go forward. You know, she's got to be able to make those passes.
Someone has to be able to make the move around Sawalich.
It looks to be maybe the only car that can compete with Sawalich.
When you look at the century-plus long history of this racetrack outside the ARCA Menards Series, you'll find drivers that had success here amongst racing's greats. Names like Bettenhausen, Foyt, Andretti, Unser, Kinzer,
Jimmy Bryan.
all knew how to get to victory lane.
Because this used to be an IndyCar race.
2005, another
back in the
legend,
60s and
especially
70s, for the
sport,
30s, even up to the 80s.
After leading every lap in a dirt late model event. We're of course talking about Scott Bloomquist, who at the time was making his second start at this racetrack. The other, the ARCA Menards Series event here in 1991.
My friend Aaron, I see in the chat, going to predict the winners of the last 6 ARCA races for the season because Sawalich is going to win this. Keep in mind, though, Sawalich can't run Kansas.
One of a kind and all-around wheelman. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Bloomquist family during this very, very difficult time.
Yeah, not only an incredible race car driver, one of the best race car drivers we've ever seen on dirt, but a character as well. He was a character as well, and then I love Scott Bloomquist. And we got to see him in the Truck Series a few years ago when we went to Eldora, and that was fun to watch when he drove for Kyle Busch.
His start here in Springfield was one of 3 starts he made back in 1991. Only fitting that we are running this race here on this weekend as well. William Sawalich alongside of Isabella Robusto on the front row after she wrestled second away from Kelikowski. Last time these two were on the front row, they were banging doors. What's going to happen this time? They're already bouncing off each other before they get to the restart line.
All right, here we go. Green again at Springfield. Sawalich to the lead again.
Kelikowski, she's going to lose that second.
Kovsky back to second, and here comes LeVar Scott going for third.
In that 6 car.
And as Scott makes this pass, we want to remind viewers his teammate that he's chasing in the championship
is out.
Perez is back out on the racetrack.
Oh wait,
trying to make up
Perez is back on the racetrack. Well, that's that.
More incentive to try to climb further up the running order, and he just got by Robusto for third.
Right.
The cars on the outside have been such a huge disadvantage. We saw Tony Breiger restart in the 4th spot on that restart. She is all the way back to the 8th spot now, as we saw Isabella lose a couple positions.
Isabella back to 4th. Amber Balkin up into the top 5 with a great run going. Now the car behind Amber Balkin, his teammate Chris Wright in the 15. He is still being scored 1 lap down. Sean Poor got the free pass on the last caution. And here's Taylor Reimer trying to get not only past Wright in the 15, but her teammate Amber Balkin for a spot in the top 5.
The Zillits will be at Milwaukee and Bristol, which could affect how that goes.
His team was still trying to make some repairs to that car. We talked about them changing a battery and doing it in only a lap. But the problem is that doesn't fix it. More than likely, the alternator has gone out, so they may have had to change another battery. But Chris right now is in the pre-pass position again.
He's the only driver a lap down.
And Phil, if that is the case,
Alice Club is still on track, 6 laps down.
To the end, if that problem keeps happening,
yes, he will have
7 down.
Yes, exactly.
Or maybe he's off the track still.
It's
It's alright, we're 2/3 of the way through the race.
And Perez has just gained a spot on Bryce Haugenberg, who fell out of the race. Not sure how many more spots Perez and company may try to
Breidinger trying to make a move on Christian Rose. That would be for 7th.
But still thinking about the championship is that of Andres Perez, who is back on the speedway. As we look at Tony Breidinger working over the backside of Christian Rose for 7th.
Top of the show, we talked about Venturini's bringing 4 females here to run this race. First time that ever happened. Well, right now, they're running 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th. Pretty good showing by these females.
Leading the charge is Isabella Robusto, who's looking for more. And Taylor Reimer, that car is starting to come to life in a big, big way. Up to the top 5 and not complacent with the 5th spot. This is second on back. There you see the gap back to Amber Balkan in 6th. But that battle for second position, 4 cars strong, beginning to intensify.
LeVar Scott trying to make a move on Kovsky. He's to the inside. And Reimer to the inside of Robusto. Robusto takes 4th. LeVar Scott takes 2nd.
So Scott to 2nd. Kovsky 3rd. Reimer in the 55 there at 4th position. Robusto.
It's remarkable how much better this race is when you remove Sawallic from the equation.
Now gaps are off the corner.
Remember, that halftime break gave these crew chiefs an opportunity to change these cars around a little bit. I'm sure with feedback from Taylor Reimer, her crew was able to make some changes. I think Kevin Eagle called the shots on Taylor Reimer's car. Looks like they've made that car better. She's going after Kelly Kovsky.
So that'll be for 3rd if Reimer can pass Kovsky, and she does.
Now getting around the outside pole sitter and Kovsky. Reimer back to where she started this race. The Tulsa, Oklahoma native doesn't have much big car experience on tracks like this.
And here comes Robusto to the inside of Kovsky.
As she has come from the back of the field herself. We've been talking about her teammates coming up through the field. Taylor's done it 2 or 3 times already.
Isabella able to get by Kelly Kovsky as well.
30 to go.
4th spot.
How about this bit of a twofer for that of Taylor Reimer? Able to gain a handful of spots. Reimer gets Robusto here. Wasn't done yet. Kept on charging. That could be another Reese's sweep move of the race. We'll find out Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern at ARCARacing.com to see who will be crowned with the Springfield Sweet Move of the Race presented by Reese's. And while the racing for second on back has been a thriller pretty much all throughout, William Sawallic has opened up a 4-second advantage over the rest of the field.
He's loving that racing for second right now. But we saw Kelly Kovsky now, who has faded to the 5th position, coming into the clutches of Amber Balkan. This car has not been good on the long runs as it has been on the short runs. There's our leader, Sawallic, right there, almost a full straightaway back to LeVar Scott, who has that 2nd spot in the 6th car. Big opportunity for LeVar Scott, as we mentioned, to try to close up that gap in the points to his teammate Andres Perez, who is back on the racetrack.
So Perez was able to pick up that spot. See Scott here running in the 2nd position. Reimer trying to chase him down in 3rd. Robusto and Kovsky in the top 5.
I wonder if it ever gets lonely up
should be the
front.
first one to tell you he doesn't think that he's the best at the dirt discipline because he doesn't do it all that often. If you look at the stat sheet, his 2 ARCA races last year, 2 top 5 finishes. He has been by far the more superior car in this race, at least up to this point, with the final quarter of the event still to go.
Yeah, he had a better car than a 5th place finish though last year here, but it's amazing how much, again, he's still only 17 years old, so it's amazing the improvement that we've seen out of this driver. Again, he's led over 60% of the laps coming into this race, 7 poles, 5 wins, and just a handful of starts, just 8 starts so far. This would be his 9th here in the series.
Touch on his schedule next week, the doubleheader with the ARCA Menards Series, Craftsman Truck Series. He's going to run both races.
Love that.
there. Going to do it again at Bristol, handful of weeks later, trying to get all the track time possible. As you mentioned, his 18th birthday not far away. Come October, we'll start seeing him on some of the larger venues, and possibly with ARCA in 2025.
Why does he have to run the ARCA race in 25? I mean, he's probably going in the Xfinity Series.
We're coming off 4 short tracks in a row coming into this race here at Springfield. His average finish in those 4 short track races was better than third. And believe it or not, in those 4 races, he only gained 4 points to our leader, Andres Perez, who averaged a little bit over third in those same 4 races. So great job by Rev Racing on the short tracks.
There should be a big turnout for Milwaukee because it's a combination east-west feature.
2 for LeVar Scott, 3 for Andres Perez.
Right now, in line to do it yet again, with Scott running in that second position. And with Scott's commitment to the East calendar 2023, didn't get the chance to run these races last year. He's doing a great job. This is ARCA Dirt debut. Although he's got some company starting to close in that battle for second.
I was just getting ready to say he's going to have his hands full in just a moment here with that 55 of Reimer and the 20 of Robusto. Robusto was the fastest car on the racetrack that last lap. Second fastest, Taylor Reimer. A little bit of lap traffic in front of LeVar Scott as well.
The bad news for Chris Wright is that is Brayton Laster, who's just gone a lap off the leaders, and Michael Maples is off the lead lap as well. So Wright's going to have to start pedaling.
Great, Brayton Laster lap down. The car I sponsored. I see my image because I know where to look for it on the car, but yeah, well. All right, 12 cars on the lead lap.
See what a bad break that was for Isabella. A little bit for Taylor as well. How they caught Laster getting in the corner. If you can catch him on the straightaway, they can get right back down to that inside guardrail where the most grip is. But they had to drive around the outside of Laster. He was doing nothing wrong. He was where he was supposed to be. There's Chris Wright, though, right behind him. Chris Wright should be able to dispatch him Laster fairly quickly, but then he's going to have to go find that 99 of Maples to get in that free pass spot.
You see right there in the 15, documented this problem earlier under one of our early cautions. The car came to a halt, as Phil mentioned.
Chris Wright's still a lap down. Oh, he's past Brayton Laster.
Again at the race break, because he wasn't able to retrieve the free pass when it was offered to him the first time through. But you're right, now he's got to try to catch up to Maples. Now Cody Dennison is the last car in the lead lap, so this trend may continue.
11 cars in the lead lap.
This race remains under green, with him hoping for
As the number 99 of Michael Maples a lap down.
The pace that Sawalch is setting right now is putting a lot of these top 10 cars in danger of going a lap down, as you mentioned.
Nah, just up to 10th I think will get lapped. I think 10th will get lapped, and that's where it stops.
Of our leader Sawalch, and then right in front of him is the 12 of Tim Monroe.
His battle for position is 6. That's Brayton Laster, the lap car to 30.
Breidinger and Vulcan splitting to Brayton Laster 3 wide.
Unfortunately, was not able to make.
We're staring at nothing. What the hell are you doing, Fox?
Laps 20 laps to go here at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, and William Sawalch has led them all.
Oh, please, please, let the 18 break down or something.
Just continuing to run laps, not that far off what his pole-winning speed was. Track officials have done a great job with this racetrack, maintaining the surface, keeping it very, very racy. As we see, Taylor Reimer has chased down that 6 of LeVar Scott. See, Isabella's lost just a little bit of distance to that 55 of Reimer. Here's your battle right here, the battle for second.
Hard to believe that Reimer is making only her second career ARCA Menards Series start, and second one here at this racetrack. And you would think after finishing 8th in your big car debut on dirt, you would be happy with it, but she said she was disappointed with how things went, knowing that she could do oh so much better. Right now she's proving that in a big way here, battling for a runner-up position against a driver who is runner-up.
Wait, that's a... Who kicked up the dust?
Eric, we've talked about the fact that drivers without
maybe just the wind
are not at a huge disadvantage to this racetrack. Look how dark the bottom 2 lanes of this racetrack are getting. This racetrack is taking rubber. It's driving more like a pavement track. You don't see these cars way out of shape like we do a lot of the open wheel stuff that we see on dirt. So not a huge disadvantage for some of these drivers with little to no dirt experience.
Certainly a new groove now all the way around this 1 mile turnover. Last couple laps, this group has caught Williams.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, the gap's down to 3-3.
A second and a half is where the pendulum.
Cody Dennison goes a lap down.
In terms of the gap from Sawallich to Scott holds down second.
Is it the lap traffic I was holding him up?
Couple lap cars that he had to make his way through.
11. I'm guessing the 11 was a pain in the ass.
That he was passing, so it's not quite as easy to pass those lead lap cars because they have some pretty decent pace.
Tim Monroe a lap down.
Lamar Scott, Taylor Reimer, Isabella Robusto, and the rest will have to go through those lap cars as well.
Sawallich comes to the line. 9 cars left on the lead lap. Sawallich trying to hang on for the victory. We'll be back for the finish right after this.
This year, we actually get to race.
These guys are sprint car drivers, stock car drivers, drifters. Here, they're going to drive something that requires a different sense of discipline.
It's a group of 12 guys who are really good at driving race cars.
Team NOS Zero Sugar. Team NOS Original. Team Sonic Sour. Team GT Grape. We're not sure how these cars are going to drive.
Let's go racing.
Yeah, and Sawallich already gapped them by. Now they gapped up to over 5 seconds. Now they're stuck behind the lap cars. He's in 11th right now.
Coming up on 10 laps to go in the first race of the Performance Seed Dirt Double for the ARCA
11, coming to 10 to
2024.
go. 10 miles.
William Sawallich has put on an absolute clinic. The last thing he wants
The
to
logo's
see
on the
is
31.
because he has now stretched the lead back to over 5.5 seconds. Bill, it's not nearly as much of a gap we saw at the finish of last year's race when Brent Cruz went on to win by 20-plus seconds over a Rev Racing car, Andres Perez. But boy, Sawallich has been impressive so far today.
For sure has. Really has all year. Here's your battle for second. That's LeVar Scott right there in the 6th car. We've had a change.
Yeah, I saw my logo again.
Isabella Robusto was able to take advantage of some lap cars, chase down the 55 of Taylor Reimer, and grab that 3rd spot. I think this battle is going to go right down to the end. Taylor Reimer's car is
Isabella Robusto got around Taylor Reimer for 3rd.
Way to the inside. Isabella needs to stay right against that guard. Here's that pass. You see the 55 are going to get hung up behind the 11. Opens up the bottom for Isabella. She's going to be able to grab that third spot from Taylor Reimer. And now just going to try to hold her off.
Interesting note here, if these drivers could stay in the top 5 as they run, it would be the first time in ARCA Menards Series history we've had more than one female finish in the top 5 at the end of the race. Trying to hold on to those honors as well. In fact, all of our female drivers in the top 10 right now.
Balkan 8th, Breidinger 6th, Reimer 4th, Robusto 3rd.
Knocking on the door of that 5th spot. She's about 3 seconds behind Kelly Kofsky right now. So probably not going to be
3.4 to be exact.
Caution flag, but
or
a
close,
great effort by the
3.47.
whole Venturini team here.
Closer to 3.5.
Great comeback by Chris right now, who's running in the 10th spot. Still 1 lap down, but running in 10th spot. Nice recovery for him.
So we're getting towards the end of this race. This racetrack is still continuing to change. Look at the front of Isabella Robusto's car. It's
bent. Spoiler.
That splitter.
It's plowing.
It's continuing to start to shred apart a little bit, especially down
that reduces downforce.
The track is getting really rough, and that's something these drivers may have to watch out for in these final 7 laps.
Yeah, can be really careful. So much.
Chris Wright up to 10th now. He passed both Cody Dennison and Tim Monroe.
It's actually turned that front plastic piece underneath the front of Isabella's car. You see it right there. That's just a plastic piece that rivets onto the front end or bolts onto the front end. That's made enough contact to actually turn that under a little bit, that plastic piece.
I do wonder if the information has been relayed to that of Isabella, because she took a wider entry into turn 1 that time, trying to get through these final 6 laps or so, holding on to a podium spot.
Box, focus, come on.
Taylor Reimer is right there in the event Isabella slips up at all. An impressive effort by both of these young ladies, running up here in the top 4 positions. And that means they've actually fought and passed and driven away from Kelly Kofsky, one of the drivers with the most experience in the field. Still a great effort by Kelly, running 5th right now, but impressive effort by these ladies. And there's Andres Perez, again back on the racetrack after numerous laps.
16th place. He passed Bryce Hogberg, and he will pass Alex Clubb to finish 15th.
The worst finish he's had all year long, and that was Daytona, and then top 10s ever since coming in here.
This is going to end up being his worst result since Kansas in 2023. And when you talk about championship-defining moments, it's not always victories, podiums. Sometimes it's hard-fought days like today, where the team has to scramble to get you out there just to gain 1, maybe 2 more spots. And in fact, he may be able to get Alex Clubb here for a top 15 effort if he can make it to the end of this race, with Sawalich hoping this race stays green up to that point.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that's the last thing Sawalich wants to see is a caution flag here. Lamar Scott has cut into his lead a little bit, but again, I think Sawalich is just being extremely careful, keeping that car down on the bottom, taking his time around lap cars.
For LeVar Scott, it's certainly going to be a great points day for the Rev Racing.
So you gotta imagine he still wants to win.
Robusto, Taylor Reimer, Kelly Kofsky, your top 5 as things stand, with Sawalich going to be coming around to 2 laps to go this time through. As we mentioned several times, William not quite old enough to join us on some of the big tracks just yet at this portion of his racing career, but he's pretty much proven his ability on every other type of surface, even just this season. Phoenix, a unique 1-mile oval. Mid-Ohio, the road course. Berlin, a short track. Salem, a high bank short track. The barn burner at Elko, and now potentially a lap and a half away from a dirt victory for the first time in his career. With
all right, here he comes around the final set of turns.
Does run all the races, though. Tanner Gray has been able to get that car to big lane at Charlotte. Had a great race going to Michigan.
All right, white flag is out. Last lap at Springfield. It's been a pretty chill day for the driver of the number 18, considering he's led 99 of 99. Looks to go 100 for 100. He's dominated virtually every race he's been in. 5 wins they described. 3 short tracks of Berlin, Elko, and Salem. The mile-long Phoenix Oval. And the road course of Mid-Ohio. And now on dirt, it'll be career win number 10 for 17-year-old William Sawalich. Here he comes at a turn number 4. Caution is out on the final lap. but it doesn't mean anything for the finish as Sawalich wins at Springfield. Wait, what? No. Oh, you're right. I forgot. Oh my God, I forgot ARCA rules.
Sawalich's heart skipped a beat.
I forgot ARCA rules. If there's a caution on the white flag lap, we have a 1 lap dash to the end. Oh no.
We will re-rack the field and do a 1 lap shootout. And more importantly, Phil, restarts inside the final 10 laps single file.
Yeah, that's huge for William Sawalich. He knows he will not have to battle anybody on his outside.
1 lap dash.
LeVar Scott right on his rear bumper when we restart this race. So
how aggressive is LeVar Scott going to be? Oh my God.
Will in fact be a single file restart with just 1 lap dash for the
Sean Corr spun, so no free pass.
Look here, back of your picture there.
Why was that a caution?
Right in front of Sawalich.
Really? Was that? Did that really need to be a caution, ARCA?
I don't think the ARCA officials had any choice. You saw him spin right in front.
Are you kidding me? No, he was completely fine.
ARCA officials had no choice but to throw that caution flag.
Think back just a handful of years ago when a car had a problem off turn 4 at this racetrack in front of the leaders. It resulted in a pretty big wreck for Bryce Haugerberg.
Oh, right. I think he ended up on his side. But, I don't know. That's spun all the way to the outside of the turn and got it going again. And got it around and going again.
You can hold the phone in terms of Sawalich having the perfect race. It's not done yet.
He might still have the perfect race.
Probably will, unless he gets punted.
But what a great opportunity for LeVar Scott. Going to restart this race right behind that 18 of Sawalich. As you mentioned, single file restart.
Last time William Sawalich competed with us, Elko, the driver that was alongside him, beating and banging to the photo finish. The car starting behind him, looking for his first career ARCA Menards Series win.
And LeVar Scott was one aggressive mofo at Elko.
See the 18 of Sawalich move up the racetrack, trying to get a little moisture, trying to cool off those tires just a little bit. You see Isabella doing the same thing.
The biggest task, I think, for Sawalich right now is going to be keep your emotions in check. Obviously, he was able to see what would have been the checkered flag ahead of him. Now he's got to get himself composed and be set to hold off what's going to be a different style restart than what he's done all day. The car chasing him is going to be the only one behind him, no one up alongside of him for position. And to try not to let this one slip out of his grasp.
You know, the 6 car has been a little bit faster towards the end of the race. We don't know whether Sawalich was just kind of riding, taking it easy because he had over a 4-second lead, but we're going to find out here momentarily how much that 6 of LeVar Scott has. Again, remember, we don't have a restart zone. As you mentioned earlier, we have a restart line, and that's when Sawalich will get on the button. Again, he knows when he's going to go, so it's a huge advantage to the guy in the lead, because of the fact that he knows when he's going, and LeVar Scott has to react to that.
And one of the biggest reasons why LeVar Scott is incentivized by this, we don't have that many races left in the calendar. Just 6 races to go in the ARCA Menards Series season. Here's how it looks. Milwaukee next Sunday at 1 p.m. Then the second chapter of the Performance Seat Dirt Double at DuQuoin Labor Day weekend. We got a road course in the mix all the way down to our season finale where Scott is trying to tighten up this championship battle.
Yeah, what a great lineup of races we have in ARCA Menards Series, really all year long. As much diversity as we have any series anywhere in the world.
Your upcoming schedule, all going to be on Fox Sports 1. Season finale airing on FS2 October 5th in Toledo at 4 p.m. Dusting off the lens.
Track equipment back to
the way that the ARCA series has been running these last few races, we don't know how this thing's going to end.
So all these drivers trying to cool off their tires a little bit for this 1-lap shootout, and again, it could be unlimited attempts too as we get 1 to go. We will restart next time by, but we will have unlimited attempts if the caution were to come out again before we get to the checkered flag.
What? I could have sworn they did not have unlimited attempts. I thought I had 1 attempt.
Looking to make up ground at the championship and score his first career ARCA Menards Series win. The same could be said for the cars chasing all the way on back. Every car in the lead lap, except for the 18, is looking for an opportunity to go to the victory.
Yeah, but you have to
for
beat the
first time in
18.
their ARCA Menards Series career. Isabella Robusto, Taylor Reimer carrying the banners for Venturini Motorsports 3rd and 4th, and Kelly Kovsky, the dirt ace, running in 5th, hoping something crazy happens in front of him to open the floodgates and get his long-awaited victory lane trip here in Springfield.
Obviously, a lot has been mentioned about the bump and run over the past week or so since our most recent weekend of racing. We'll see what happens here.
One lap dash to
here we go. White flag, the final lap at Springfield.
It's a one-lap shootout. Sawalich, Scott, Robusto, your top.
Here they come off of 4. We're green. Sawalich gets away cleanly. Robusto takes a move on LeVar Scott to the inside for 2nd place.
What a great job by Isabella Robusto. Is she going to be able to hold on? LeVar Scott is fighting back on the outside.
Robusto clear to 2nd. Here comes Reimer trying to get to 3rd.
All the while, Sawalich is loving what's happening behind
18 gets away so cleanly. But not even the caution flag could stymie him. LeVar Scott gets loose in the goose, and Sawalich coming. Oh, we got cars in the wall. Caution flag is out. Sorry, checkered flag is out, and William Sawalich wins at Springfield.
And you see the remnants of
Sawalich wins. Robusto 2nd. Taylor Reimer 3rd. Kelly Kovsky in 4th. LeVar Scott 5th. Tony Breidinger 6th, Chris Wright in 7th, Amber Balkan in 8th, Christian Rose, because he was the last car in the lead lap, Rex, or maybe he got lapped, but Christian Rose will be credited with the 9th place finish, and Tim Monroe will finish in the 10th spot.
9 starts. The 6 victories has him ahead of all drivers in 2024, and this is his 5th win from the pole in 2024 as well.
But how about the podium, as you were talking about, Eric? Isabella Robusto gets a 2nd place finish.
Taylor Reimer 3rd.
Gets a 3rd place finish.
And again, first time in ARCA Menards Series history that we've had more than one female driver come home in the same ARCA Menards Series event in the top 5. As Sawalich celebrates, Isabella, the first female to finish 2nd. Taylor Deegan did it at this racetrack back in 2020.
I talked to Billy Venturini, the car owner for Venturini Motorsports, so high on Isabella Robusto. He said, I'm telling you, she is so talented, male or female. She's one of the best we've had here at Venturini Motorsports.
And it's the sight that we've seen many a time so far this season. We're probably not done yet, whether it be this year or for the rest of this driver's career. William Sawalich getting yet another win on the ARCA calendar, and again, 2nd driver ever to start on pole, lead every lap, and win here at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, but he is the first to do it. I was about to say at regular distance, because Love did it in a shortened event. He actually went a little bit further than regular distance. We ran 105 laps today. Unbelievable drive that Sawalich has been on. With plenty of opportunities for sure out the windshield of this driver, and I'm sure this has to mean a lot to him, being that he was a self-proclaimed not great dirt racer, being that it wasn't something he did all that often. It took him 3 starts to figure it out and go to victory lane.
Yeah, and Kansas will be the only race the rest of the ARCA Menards schedule that he will miss, because that's a mile and a half. Again, he will not have turned 18 by then, so we'll see plenty more of William Sawalich in the ARCA Menards series, as well as the truck series as well. We'll see him next week in the truck series, Milwaukee, alongside the same day as ARCA Menards series, so that's going to be fun to watch.
See Sawalich climbing out of the car. We talk about the history of this racetrack. Heather DeBow is down there with the 27th different driver to win an ARCA Menards series race at Springfield.
And he does it again from the pole for the third time in a row. Another victory here for William Sawalich on the dirt. You admittedly said you're not a dirt guy, but here you are and you dominate again. So what was the key factor in leading to this victory today?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we knew what we had last year, and I feel like we had good speed. I think I just had to be a little more comfortable with the dirt. Like you said, not my thing, but we had a really fast Starkey Sound Gear Toyota Camry today, and I can't thank the guys enough. They made a really good change at halfway break to get us a little better there for the end.
You spoke about the changes. At one point you were plowing tight. So what could you control behind the steering wheel as you adapted to the track changing throughout the event?
Well, the only thing I've been told about dirt racing is more throttles, more turns. So that's all I was trying to do, is just try and gas it up and get the rear to turn. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, enjoy the victory once again.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Heather. I think more throttle has been the story of William Sawalich's year so far with how fast he's been. Here's how the last restart unfolded. Didn't take long for Robusto to try to make this move to get up the second spot.
Yeah, great run, though. Great restart by Sawalich. You see Robusto was right on the money. She was dead even just about with LeVar Scott as they got to turn one. Taylor Reimer's going to get by, as well as Kelikovsky. So that cost LeVar Scott 3 positions that one lap after this restart. But nonetheless, what a great job by William Sawalich. Again, 6 wins. Looking forward to seeing Connor Zilic race with William Sawalich in this ARCA Menards Series next week at Milwaukee. See Gus Dean, Jake Finch, one for Venturini Motorsports on the super speedways.
Again, 1 week from today, the ARCA Menards Series is going to be back in action at the Milwaukee Mile in a doubleheader for you on FS1 with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series kicking off their playoff run to close.
All right, anyway, that does it for today's stream. Let me check.
On another historic 1 mile, in this case, paved oval.
Yeah, if one of our winners in the Truck Series that's in the playoffs can get to victory lane, that will advance him into the round of 8. So a lot on the line.
All right, doesn't look like we're gonna get going today. Wow, more views than I expected. But thanks to everybody who showed up today. Again, no stream next week. I'm going to be back home. My dad is going to be home from London. So thanks to everybody who came out today. Hope you all enjoy next week's races at Daytona, Milwaukee, and on the IndyCar side, Portland. And on the F1 side, at Zandvoort and for the Dutch Grand Prix. BowserJrXD signing off.